The New York Knicks just got hit with breaking news, shocking news on the future of Malcolm Brogdon with this team. We'll break that down, but first, this is why you subscribe to the channel. When the Knicks make a move, we make a video as soon as possible. So if you love the Knicks, you bleed orange and blue, hit that sub button right now. Malcolm Brogdon, you are not a New York Knick. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and Shams Charania with a bombshell report saying, just in, after 9 NBA seasons, the New York Knicks guard Malcolm Brogdon has decided to retire from basketball. Brogdon became the 2017 Rookie of the Year, 2023 Sixth Man of the Year after being drafted back in the second round of 2016. Shocking news here. Malcolm Brogdon was going to make the final roster for the New York Knicks, but he has decided to hang it up. His NBA career is over, and he has retired. And I'm a little bit upset. I'm shocked. And I think the New York Knicks are in a bad spot at the backup point guard position. Malcolm Brogdon released a statement saying, quote, "Today I officially begin my transition out of my basketball career. I have proudly given my mind, body, and spirit to the game over the last few decades. With the many sacrifices it took to get here, I have received many rewards. I am deeply grateful to have arrived to this point on my own terms and now be able to reap the benefits of my career with my family and friends. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to all who have had a place in my journey." Wow. That is my one-word reaction to the news. Get down in the comments and let me know your one-word reaction to Malcolm Brogdon retiring. This is the definition of breaking news. This is shocking, and I was completely caught off guard by this. I think we just saw Malcolm Brogdon in a commercial where it looked like he was going to be a part of the New York Knicks roster, and Shams Charania said in his story that Brogdon was going to make the Knicks regular season roster. So this wasn't he caught wind that he wasn't going to make the team, he didn't want to be No. He is retiring from basketball. He no longer wants to be an NBA player. And at the age of just 32 years old, I know there's been injuries that have stacked up throughout his career. And Shams said that Brogdon was thinking about retirement over the past couple of weeks. And I'm assuming that probably popped in his head once the 2024-2025 season ended. But at 32 years old, I thought there was a lot of tread left on those tires. I know he didn't look all that great in the preseason. I thought he was going to be a major piece of this puzzle for the New York Knicks, and I was excited to see Jalen Brunson and Malcolm Brogdon share the floor together. I thought he was a perfect backup point guard for the Knicks. He plays the game the right way. He's not selfish. He's a big enough NBA body to defend at a decent level as well. It's the guy that shot 50, 40, 90 from the floor before, and he was going to allow Brunson to play off ball some, where he is the best spot-up shooter in the NBA over the last couple of seasons. I'm pretty bummed about this, to be honest with you. I've been wanting Brogdon to be a New York Knick for the past couple of seasons. It finally happened, and it's never actually going to happen. And I guess once a Knick, always a Knick. But man, this one, it sucks, and it's going to have a ripple effect on the New York Knicks. This changes a lot for them right now. My immediate reaction was, well, I guess that means they're not trading Kolek, or that means they're potentially not trading Pacome Dadiet, and they can just keep Landry, Shamet with those two guys. I'm not so sure about that. The Knicks do not have an NBA-level backup point guard on this team right now. Miles McBride is an off-the-ball player. I understand he is built like a point guard. I do not love the idea of him running the point guard, setting the table, and being that guy. Is Jordan Clarkson a guy that you want consistently trying to create offense for others? He could definitely get up shots for himself, no doubt about that. But then you just have Tyler Kolek. And I think it's pretty clear the way the Knicks feel about Tyler Kolek. They've been shopping him all summer long. I know that this is not Tom Thibodeau's Knicks, but in the era of Jalen Brunson, they have always had a backup point guard that they can at least depend on, and they've made a strong effort to be deep at that spot. They went out and signed Campaign into the late in the offseason last year, the day of the home run derby. I remember doing that video that day. I do not have confidence in Miles McBride as a point guard and Jordan Clarkson as a point guard and Tyler Kolek to get the job done for this team. I'm pretty bummed about this, to be honest with you, and I am worried about that spot. You are a sprained ankle where Jalen Brunson has to miss 2 weeks like he has in the past from being in a really bad spot. So maybe this means Tyler Kolek is safe. Maybe this means Pacome Dadiet is safe. I would not be shocked if the New York Knicks go out and make another move and another trade for a backup point guard. Got a lot more thoughts coming up in a second, but want to let you guys know this New York Knicks Mitchell and Ness hat, it is on sale when you use the promo code HELMET at chatsports.com/NYKhat. That's chatsports.com/NYKhat. Use that code HELMET. It was $32. Now it is just $22. Wanted to bring on my guy, producer of the show, Andrew Connell. AC, this one, maybe I'm overreacting, but I think this leaves the New York Knicks in a spot that's not great for their bench in totality and specifically the backup point guard position. Shams Charania reporting he was going to be the backup point guard for this team, and it was widely expected he was going to play a significant role for this team.
Yeah, I think one of the things that Knicks fans and we were excited about and everyone covering this team was like kind of lauding for the Knicks coming into the season was their depth. And that takes a hit here with Malcolm Brogdon. And now, like you said, they don't have a traditional backup point guard that they trust on the roster. Obviously, Tyler Kolek in the mold of a backup point guard, kind of what you would envision. But I think if they thought he was ready for that role, they wouldn't have gone out and added Jordan Clarkson. They wouldn't have gone out and added Malcolm Brogdon. So I think they're going to have to, unless they make an addition of a point guard, like you said, they're going to have to get creative with guys who are going to initiate the offense. I expect to see Mikal Bridges initiating the offense, maybe with that second unit a little bit. It's not his best role, but they may use Miles McBride in that role. Jordan Clarkson obviously can get his own shot, but not a typical floor general. So Malcolm Brogdon kind of gave you a little bit of all of those things, a guy who can knock down the open shot, also initiate the offense for others, and kind of just create. And they're missing that now, definitely.
And, Jordan Clarkson is a player as well that has battled some injuries throughout his career. And let's say Clarkson goes down with an injury. This was a team an hour ago that was looked as one of the deepest teams, and one of the strengths of their team was depth. But you're an injury away from either McBride or Clarkson, and especially Jalen Brunson, from being in a rough spot. And there has been too many, and I know you never want to operate like this, but you're a Jalen Brunson injury away now from being in a really bad spot. And I know you could say that about any NBA team. Brogdon could have at least helped with that a little bit. If
you'd feel good if Jalen Brunson got injured or Malcolm Brogdon was your starting point guard. Even if he's not playing starters minutes, just being the starter, playing 15, 20 a game, closing the game, starting the game. But, yeah, they don't have, for lack of a better word, just a true point guard on the roster unless you're looking at Tyler Kolek. And I don't think anyone feels confident about him maybe even being the primary backup, much less having to start if that was the case. So Mike Brown's going to have to get creative here unless they make an addition in terms of initiating the offense, running the offense. Maybe we see Towns play more with that second unit and they just have someone bring the ball across the floor and they run the offense through him. I don't know. I
even go back to the Eastern Conference Finals last year when the Indiana Pacers decided to up the defensive intensity and they started to pick up full court. no one on the Knicks could beat them off the dribble. Bridges was coughing the ball up. Hart was coughing the ball up. McBride was coughing the ball up. Like, that was another area where you could have played Brogdon and Brunson together and had two guys that can handle the ball, take care of the ball, initiate the offense, score for themselves, and set the table. And look, is it the best idea to be relying on 32-year-old Malcolm Brogdon to be a major piece? No, but I'd rather have him than not. And right now, I think the Knicks are probably in a panic right now to go out and make moves. There's no way you are comfortable with the point guard you have on this roster to get the job done. You can't be.
Yeah, and they're not exactly flush with draft assets as well to try and make a move. So maybe they flip one of their young guys, kind of like we were just talking about, but we thought it would be a roster move to clear a spot. In this case, now it's to try and flip one of those guys for just a consolidation trade or to get a guy who can take some of that pressure off Brunson so that he doesn't have to play 35 plus 40 minutes a night handling the ball, bringing the ball up every single time. So I don't know.
Maybe they go out and sign somebody else. We'll have a video out tomorrow on potential moves they could make. You have to wonder if the Knicks knew a week ago that Malcolm Brogdon was retiring. Not saying it's the right move or not, but there was reported interest back in the beginning of free agency. Would they have signed Russell Westbrook instead of him going to the Kings? Now, we talked about it pre-show. If they wanted Westbrook, they would have had him. And I do agree with that, but I think it might have also been a little bit of they'd rather have Brogdon than Westbrook, but they'd rather have Westbrook than no Brogdon. Yeah. I'm not reporting any of that. I don't know. Just speaking.
I mean, he's a guy who could alleviate some of those concerns that we talked about just offensively, really. Obviously, he's not the complete player that Brogdon was or even looked like in the preseason. But, yeah, another guy that could get the ball up the court at the bare minimum. And I do think he's got some left in the tank. I was surprised he was a free agent for as long as he was, and it's kind of been like Sacramento was really the only landing spot for him. And I don't know. I mean, Malcolm Brogdon, at least, I don't know what spurred this decision, but at least makes it now so the Knicks didn't have to get rid of someone.
That would have been awful.
And then
I can imagine if they went out and they traded Miles McBride and they did a McBride and Dadiet trade for a center, which may have happened, just for Brogdon to retire a day later. Then you would have been completely ass out. So I guess I applaud Brogdon for telling the Knicks now before they have to would have had to make a decision on Saturday based on the guys that have non-guaranteed deals. But, man, we are a week away from the first game of the NBA season, and you are pretty damn thin at that backup point guard spot. Maybe they make a move. Maybe they don't. I don't know. We'll see. Leon Rose is always keeping his ear to the streets to see if there is a move out there. Definitely. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. A little bit of breaking news here on Knicks Now. Malcolm Brogdon has retired. What is next? We'll have a video out tomorrow on some potential free agent and trade targets.